Okay, so this is the final one. So this is like 12 kilometers, 11 and a half, 11 more or less, 10 and a half, and 12 and a half more or less. I get why they do the scaled numbers, but yeah, like for me it's way easier to just think on real kilometers. But yeah, like for example, like yeah, this mode, the sport mode is the less Dakar Rally-esque of the modes in the game. Because you know, mass starts, there's no navigation, the waypoints are literally visible, you know, not not to an arrow or whatever, like they are visible from a distance. To be honest, one of the things I don't like about this mode, one of the worst things is that they show you like basically the problems with the AI. Like for example, they are more powerful than you are. You gotta outsmart them. For example, like when it comes to climbing hills, they are so much better. For example, here I'm just gonna get past and past and past probably. Oh god, I'm just trying to keep momentum. You know, you gotta literally just play around with the momentum and such to just you know, compensate for, yeah, like for example this, like I could see the checkpoint, sorry, the waypoint, you know, from under the dune. I knew it was behind. Okay, I'm risking a bit too much there, like, because yeah, like I know sometimes the bushes hit rocks. I've crashed into many of them. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut this corner a bit, and there's a rock. Okay, he's not from the... Oh, Cerradori, I think it is. It was Cerradori. Also, one thing I don't like about this game is that the leaderboards are linked to you having Game Pass, sorry, Xbox Live, and yeah, I don't pay for that, so yeah, I cannot compare myself to anybody. I know I'm fairly fast because you know people have told me, you know, like people that play this game have seen me play and they're like, hey. You're doing a nice job, but it's like, yeah, I don't really know like the numbers. Yeah, like to be honest, like I really like when it comes to Dakar 18, I really like one of the things that I actually pushed for, like you can blame me for that, which was the fragility of the vehicles. Like I didn't want people to just throw themselves off dunes or whatever. And to be honest, like you know, I had a bunch of discussions with Paulo Gomez and other people, just being like, you are not supposed to launch yourself off a dune. This is not Forza Horizon. Or for example, like especially like how little suspension the T1 cars, the four-wheel drive cars, used to have back then. They only had like 25 centimeters, I think it was, of suspension travel, and that means that you cannot jump much at all before you're like destroying the car upon impact. And for example, in this game, like you know, you have the T1 Plus cars, which have like 45 centimeters, and then you have the you know, like, and you know, the damage system of the suspension has changed almost entirely. And yeah, like, I mean, I use it, but it's not like I like it much. I prefer I prefer like the no, you gotta take care. Like you gotta preserve yourself while trying to go fast. That's the real challenge. Oh yeah, also like for example, the treasure hunt, I really like this one. I much prefer this one. But when it comes to waypoints, yeah, I also like that. The distance between waypoints. The problem is that some of them were poorly planned and they allowed for massive shortcuts. Like there's a bunch of very obvious shortcuts that you can basically get to them without even thinking. Like I will always remember one in like stage 9 or stage 10, whatever, where it was like you were riding on dry riverbeds, and yeah, like you were on a riverbed, and then you were told to go left on an off-track adventure, and then you would basically do two turns to the right and go back to pretty much the same riverbed. I immediately recognized that there was no waypoint on the off-track section, so you could just skip it. You could just go ahead, change to another riverbed. You know, it was really obvious, and pop, and you'd be hitting the next waypoint, and completely skip the off-track. But that was just poor planning. Like that was just poor planning. That was like, yeah, like. But yeah, well, but to be honest, like, you know, for me, like now that I can create my own stages, I'm also trying to like distance the waypoints quite a bit. But you'll see that, you know, that I always try to make them make sense. Like, okay, there's distance, but it's like it's mostly straight, so you cannot really cut. You can probably try to streamline it a bit, but you're gonna need to like follow the nodes either way. I'm not gonna allow you to just like be like, oh yeah, like there's a way to just, if you go right, turn a bit to the right and just go straight, you'll hit the waypoint. It's like, yeah, that's not right. Like, I don't know if I can publish my stages without getting Xbox Live, but if I can, you're gonna see some fun stuff. Like, I have one that the autopilot was too stupid at first and couldn't complete it, but I have one that is like 750 kilometers long. It's over an hour. It's 150 real kilometers. And it's like it has roads, dunes, it has a bit of everything. It's like it's one of the first areas. And yeah, like I wanna validate that one because I think that one is gonna be real fun. And I think if people end up playing it, they are gonna have plenty of fun. I'm also gonna publish that split onto like 4 stages. There's gonna be like a 750 kilometer one stage version, and also one that is gonna be like, I don't know, like yeah, 4 stages of like 180, 190 each. It's gonna take a lot of time to validate everything, but yeah, I don't know. I can just make it run in the background, so yeah. To be honest, like, for example, one of the things I discovered quite early in development, once they allowed me to play full stages, I never had to use the low gears. Never. Like, it was a matter of momentum. You just had to plan your moves and you never had to use the low gears. Like, I was really fast also, like I wasn't getting stuck or whatever. Like, to be honest, back in the office, like, people thought I was cheating. They were like, how are you completing stages so quickly? And I'm like, Even without cuts, it's not that hard. And yeah, like it was a matter of the lack of low gears. Like yeah, I didn't need it, to be honest. It was alright. I mean, I get it that, you know, they have them in real life, so it's nice to have them in the game, but it's like, yeah, like you don't need them. The UTVs were actually harder because that's one of the big mistakes in Dakar 18. The UTVs in those games don't have CVT. They don't have the you know, the scooter style transmission. They just have one speed, which is way worse when you're off-roading, because the moment you lose speed, you lose everything. You have no torque. You have, like, you know, there's no power, there's no torque. The thing, it just cannot climb, and that was like way more challenging than it should have been. But it was like, yeah, the system didn't allow for CVTs, and it was like, good lord. Like I basically tried to convince you know, the upper ups, you know, Paolo and such, to be like, it could be, you know, quite nice to just remove the UTVs, and they were like, yeah, but they are in the advertisement. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have CVT. I've messed up, but I think I can still reach the waypoint, either by jumping off a cliff or whatever. Like that was huge miss, and it was quite funny to yeah, no, jump. Like those, for example, the people, you know, people always talk about the quads being really hard in Dakar 18. And I'm like, bro, like the UTVs are actually worse. You just have one speed. It's like being on 6th gear all the goddamn time. Yeah, like that's what I was saying, like, you know, the thing about preserving your vehicle, like that was really important, and that was for me really fun, because that's one of the, like, even normal rally games, like, you know, the new WRC game could do that, but they don't do it. Like they are like, oh yeah, like as long as you don't hit trees or whatever, you are not really damaging the vehicle. And here, like, yeah, Dakar Rally was a great opportunity to be like, oh yeah, this is racing, but you have to be like really, you know, conscious about it. Oh god, what a route. Oh, this one, for example, the shape of this path reminds me a bit of one of the real stages they did on the first stage a bunch of days ago. Like the point A to point B was actually quite short, but they were like going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, I think this is the... No, sorry, like, yeah, I'm still missing a couple of stages before finishing the sport part of the DLC. Maybe, I guess I'll come back tomorrow and just do the same for the professional stages. Maybe I'll try to do... I don't know, maybe I can do the more validation. Because, yeah, like, lots of things left. By the way, the 700 plus kilometer stage is actually a complete loop. You're gonna finish like 100 meters from the start. It's a big loop, like it's not going back and forth, it's basically just a circle. But it's like, yeah, it's real long. I mean, this has all the looks of a freaking shortcut. I guess I have to go, yeah, I probably have to go here left and... Maybe it's not a shortcut, but you know, it's still fun. Yeah, it's not faster, they've passed me. I don't know, I'm just messing around. Like I'm not really like. I don't know. Like, to be honest, I don't care about stage wings. I only care about race wings. But yeah, like I don't know. Like sometimes the more stages I do, the less I care. So I start getting, you know, whoa, god, start getting experimental about it. I mean, it's a very well built set piece, you know, the factory, and then it's like the little conveyor belt or whatever, and then it's the pile, and like I wasn't going super fast or whatever, and still was the right speed to land smoothly enough. That How the hell did I pass everyone? I guess they all crashed somehow. One of the things that I was like, you know, like looking back, you know, a few minutes ago was like, where are all the 2020 riders nowadays in the Dakar Rally? Like, you know, like who has retired, who's not racing, and like who's still racing, or maybe like, for example, Desultret has moved on to UTVs, and I don't know, like Medje, both Medjes, Adrian and Michael Medje are UTV co-drivers, not drivers. I do miss Yamaha, to be honest. Like I always miss because, you know, I've lived through everyone was in KTM's era and the KTM versus BMW era. So like, you know, when I see like brands you know, just leaving the Dakar Rally and such, I get fairly anxious, not gonna lie, because like, yeah, I don't wanna go back to that. Like, for example, KTM looks to... I don't think KTM is ever gonna leave the Dakar Rally, but they are, I don't know, like, they are aiming for it. Laya Sanz in second place, but almost 8 minutes and a half. Yeah, 8 minutes and a half. By the way, something I noted, you know, many minutes ago, like 2 hours ago, more or less, I noticed something. One of the loading stages that we have been seeing for like 2 months already actually corresponds to this very stage. The one with the ski lifts, the loading stage with the ski lifts, That is not in Saudi Arabia. That's in you know, Aspen or Telluride or whatever. This freaking loading screen. I'm like, okay, now I get it. This is freaking Aspen. Like for 2 months, it was driving me insane because I was like, why is there snow in ski lifts? It doesn't make sense. And now it's like, oh yeah, of course. Because to be honest, like I didn't expect the USA map to be in Colorado. I was expecting, you know, Eastern California, Nevada, Northern Arizona, maybe a bit of New Mexico. That was my idea for the map. Because, you know, that's where North American desert races happen. Well, USA desert races happen. And suddenly we get, you know, the Colorado thing, and I was like, oh, now it makes sense. Okay, there's a problem here. I cannot distinguish whether this is a road or not. It lacks textures. It's all snow. Why did he stop there? Also, yeah, like, freaking wheels, suspension. Come on, come on. And this is really awkward to me because, yeah, like I'm used to like the road looking a certain way, and this is like, yeah, just drive between the grass, and it's like, I'm not entirely sure, man. It's like 4 race. Sport has 5 races, and they are all like between 130 and 250 kilometers, fake kilometers. And then the other one is professional modes lacks one of the races, the qualifications race. And the stages, the race seems to be more or less the same mileage, just less stages, which I don't know how that's gonna affect the routing. Because, for example, the USA Tour, it's 5 stages and 5 very different places. Right now, we're on stage 4, and yeah, like we've been on the desert, and we've been on a quarry, and now we are in like Aspen area, more or less. So I don't know how it's gonna work. It's gonna work out. Oh yeah, you have to leave office. It's 8 1/4. Yeah, like, you know, the graphics are alright. The graphics are alright. God damn it, you mother. Okay, and this is a this is a ski slope. Oh god. Fun fact, I once did this in real life. More or less. Not exactly, but yeah, I've done this in real life. I once rode a dirt bike down a ski slope, and there was snow in it. It wasn't fun at all. Oh god, is this a terrain park? Motherfucker, this is a terrain park. Well, really, really big terrain park, but yeah, this is like a terrain park. This is a snow park. Yeah, okay, this is very gimmicky, but yeah, I get it. I mean, at least people will have fun in free roam online. It's alright, it's alright. I mean, this is one of those things that I'm like, okay, this is stupid, but you know, like I can understand, you know, the reason to put it. It's like the ski jump in the crew. You know, like of course it's not. Of course you can't do a ski jump with a car, and you know, especially not one as big as the one in the crew, which is like 300 meters. But you know, like I get it. And there you go. But yeah, riding down a ski slope on a real dirt bike is a really bad idea. It's really annoying. Especially it was in the afternoon, in the evening. Because, you know, otherwise I couldn't have been there on the ski slope. And good lord, everything was frozen. It was absolutely horrendous. Oh god, lots of back and forth. That's like many hairpins. Many hairpins. Waterfall raid. Radiator gone. No, I mean, I was just a tester and consultor. Like, I'm really dumb with PCs, to be honest. Like, I'm not skilled at all when it comes to, like, I do not know how to code or anything like that. I'm just, you know, I'm just a guy with ideas. They originally wanted me just as a tester, but they quickly realized that I knew a lot about the real race, I knew about the rules, I knew about, you know, how things work out internally. And they were like, oh god, that is actually really useful. Because for most of the dev team, like, they only knew Dakar Rally from like highlights videos or like, you know, the Red Bull promotions and such. And it's like, no, the race is very different. The actual race is very different. Like, you know, this is not like, you know, it's a lot less fun, a lot more suffering. Okay, that was my fault. I was, you know, a bit too fast in the thing. God damn it. I don't know why, but some of the detachable fences are actually passed through. Okay, I messed up. Man, I can eventually get there. I think I should probably stop at least for the suspension, because I think the suspension is gone. That's why I'm completely floating over stuff. Come on. But yeah, like I would love, to be honest, like it's one of those. To be honest, like I would love to have you know, like a real shot at like actually trying to make my own version of this game. Because, for example, one of the things I do not understand is that they don't allow you to like just barely personalize the rider. Like I don't need nothing too special. Just like, for example, near the neck you can read Gonsalves. Just let me put my surname, change the number, and I'm happy. Like that level of customization for me is enough. Like, I don't know, maybe change the helmet tool, but yeah, like it's actually small stuff, and that already makes you be yourself instead of like replacing someone that is real. And then, like, you know, for example, like I would probably believe more in a championship system rather than this every race is independent from the others. For example, like, you know, you start your first year, you are like, you know, you have to do just a bunch of races, and then it's like Oh yeah, like you know, if you've done well enough, you can, you know, race the Dakar Rally, or maybe, you know, you can just do another season and, you know, just change, you know, basically do it like that. Also, like, for example, another thing that I'm surprised I haven't tried is like to actually just reverse some stages. Like, you know, that's a very silly way to just basically duplicate the amount of rallying you can do. And I know that maybe in some stages you couldn't perfectly reverse them because, you know, the way dunes work or whatever. But it's like, you know, that's also, you know, it's just small modifications and you can really expand the game. Okay, somebody has crashed. It's a builder. This is really tough to me. Like, I don't like narrow stuff in this game. Like the way steering works, narrow stuff is not fun. Rodriguez is gonna kill himself. I think this is Prokop. Motherfucker, let me by. Yeah, like just minimal customization. Like, I don't need to like completely repaint the motorbike or whatever. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, just let me change the, you know, helmet, surname, number. That's gonna be probably enough. I think that the problem is that they probably were aiming for that. They were the customization they wanted to achieve was that. And it's like, yeah, that's gonna get you in trouble for licensing. Because then you have to moderate, like, because, you know, somebody's gonna try to do a swastika or whatever. And you don't want to have a swastika in your game, so yeah. And it's that kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, like they probably aim too high instead of like making it simple and effective. So yeah, as you can see, like, these stages can be really, really different from anything in Saudi Arabia. Just like, you know, way narrower. Like, there's one Grand Canyon stage that is gonna kick your ass. Like, I crashed so many goddamn times there. It's the only stage I failed to win. I finished 4th there with all the repairs and whatever, because, you know, like, almost every crash had to repair a lot of the motorbike. And yeah, I think this is over. I think this is the last one. I needed a bit less than 3 hours to do all the sport mode versions of the races. Oh well, sorry. It was a lot less than 3 hours because I spent some time trying out the autopilot. The autopilot in one of the shorter stages. Is there a car? Oh yeah, there's 2 on middle and right. I'm gonna try again. Well, I'm gonna kick my ass. I wanna try. And the motherfucking motorbike. Wow. Okay, at least it's 1,000. It's a lot less than the motorbike because the motorbike is probably like 500. So yeah, that's gonna. You have to download it. It's a DLC. It's a DLC. It's not part of the upgrade. Stupid mic. I don't know why this one shows us new, despite I've done it. And I don't remember this one. I don't think it's new, but yeah, I didn't have it.